Hi, we're going to take a look at the textbook's website now. The textbook is free. It's just called The Economy from Core Economics. The website is just core-econ.org. And then you can create an account, a student account, and then read the book. So if you just click here, read the ebook, it will take you to your account. If you don't have one yet, it'll say, hey, make an account. So let's just look here before we start looking at the book itself. You can download a PDF of the book if you want. That's just flat. It's actually somewhat better to read it online, either on your browser, or you can download the mobile app and get everything that's in the browser version. It's through Inkling. You'll see some resources. You won't see these resources for teachers. That's just for the instructors. But you will see these little quizzes that let you test yourself, a glossary for any terms that you don't understand. And you'll also see these Leibniz calculus supplements. We won't be using those, so don't worry about that. We will use the Einstein sections in the book, but those are just pretty basic math. So let's click over the book. It will open up a new tab, and you can see the chapters are down here on the left, and the book is here. So if we just click on chapter 1, the capitalist revolution, you can see how it's set up. Each section is pretty short. There's about 10 to 12 sections per chapter. There's a lot of call-out sections, a lot of stories, a lot of international examples, and a lot of graphs. So this is the first graph we're going to look at, which is about the growth in GDP per capita. And so this looks at Britain, Japan, Italy, China, and India. And you can see they were all pretty similar until about 1800. Britain started growing a little bit earlier, but Italy was the richest country there for a while, mostly because of their geographic location. There are some videos here. You can just hit play.
Data essentially allow us to discriminate among alternative explanations.
I think theory can be useful, but I think sometimes economists spend too much time doing very sophisticated theory without knowing what are the facts that they are trying to explain and understand.
So I put some links to some of the videos on Sakai in each week's lesson, but you can just watch them in the book as well. See some good-looking economists. So then if we go to the next section, I just want to go through some of these graphs. So you'll see these graphs, a lot of them have sort of sliders down at the bottom. And you can see that we're on the first slider now. It gives you a little bit of detail about the graph. And as we click through, it highlights different pieces of the graph, which is pretty helpful. So there's Britain's growth. They started around 1650. And interestingly, the Black Death, the plague, might have played a little bit of a role there. And then Japan really didn't start until about 1870 when it opened itself up to trade. China actually got poorer for a long time, partly through Britain's role, partly through their own role, and then started really growing around 1980, as did India. And you can see that both Japan and China have grown very quickly, but since Japan started earlier, they are still significantly richer. All right, so just make sure you do the reading. It's especially important for this online class, and let me know if you have any questions about the book.